Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! So, Starlight is out here at this park. I've been cooking, and so anyway, is tonight, this is going to be a different type of video. But before I get, well, of course you push the button, what the heck is this about? So anyway, before I say any more, thank you to all of you. Yes, you, and you. Thank you for all of you who are here loving and supporting Starlight. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman. Plus, you can give my videos a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight by giving Starlight a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can share my videos with your family or friends. How about, let me see, I've been seeing some bugs. A monarch butterfly. I saw one of those the other day. And rabbits, silly old rabbits. I've been seeing lots of rabbits. So, what does it mean when you see a rabbit? Some of you already know, right? So anyway, besides that is also anybody would love, you can send love donations through my Cash App, and I will have the information here. Ping! There is, and also anyone that would like to reach out to me and say hello, you can through my Instagram, and that's 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman. So today is an interesting topic, so I hope the title will make sense when people want to check that out. But this video is about shit happens when car camping. So what shit happens, Starlight? I'll tell you what, expect the unexpected, and you got to be prepared. You don't, for anybody that's car camping, not like motorhomes where you got a toilet in there. No, this is car camping, van camping, any kind of camping in a vehicle that has no toilets. That's what this video is about. Shit happens when car camping, and I'll tell you what, I am very quick about figuring things out, but some of you might not have thought of this, and that is why I want to make this video. It's a gross topic, but it's really necessary, and it's life. Shit happens, life happens, and you really want to know ahead of time what to do if you are car camping. Maybe you're in a van and you're traveling around, maybe an SUV like Starlight is. That was a bum. No, it's the 4th of July. So whatever you sleep into, as long if it doesn't have a toilet, is because there's going to be times you're going to be parked somewhere, and this is exactly what happened to Starlight. I wasn't prepared, but I'm really good at thinking about what am I going to do right now. This is kind of horrible, but I have traveled all around the United States, meeting a lot of different people, helping a lot of homeless people, helping people in their journey in life by giving them wisdom, talking to them, listening to them. And I've even had a couple clients in one state a while back, and all this traveling and stuff and parking all over the United States in different areas, so depending on where you are parking, you want to make sure where you park, you're not going to have any problems with the law, because I tell you, that is a challenging thing, is, so you want to make sure you find out ahead of time, where can I park, Starlight? Where can I park? So parking is one of the things, and it's so important that you know where to go, what to do. And so a lot of places, you can't park at a parking lot, you can't park, at a park. But there are places online that you can check out, and some of them are going to have a fee that you know, you can even call the 211 number, like where can I park safe in a safe spot. So you really got to be careful. I've gotten myself in a lot of trouble because I parked in the wrong place, you know, and officers came to me I don't know how many times, and so it was a learning experience for Starlight. So you definitely want to even Google, like, where can I park, you know, at nighttime, like truck stops, you know, you can park in those places. It's surprising. Some you know, ask before, you know, you really want to ask when you park somewhere. That way, you know, sorry, Starlight's been bending over cooking a lot. So you really want to make sure you ask permission. You know, there's some gas stations, like certain places like a Wawa's gas station, which is Starlight's favorite gas station to go to, because they actually have healthy stuff in there, and it's fresh, and it's not something that's been sealed up, you know, and you don't know how long it's been there. So Wawa's, those are hard to find, but they're around the United States. So if they have a Wawa's, you can ask and say, hey, you know, can I spend the night? Of course, I'm not sure how that goes because I've never done that, but truck stops is another place. Rest areas, I'm not sure if you are able to do that anymore. All the rest areas on the thruway are different. So you'll have to Google that. And so here you are in your vehicle, no matter what kind of vehicle you have. It might be a van, it could be a pickup truck. I mean, I've seen it all. I've seen all kinds of crazy stuff on this journey. And if you don't have a bathroom, what are you gonna do, guys and girls? You know, your body sometimes, if you have different times that you use the bathroom or different times you eat, because I do. Right now I got to work on eating earlier. That's what I'm working on tonight, because it's not good to eat, you know, right before you go to bed. So you know what, we can't always know what our body's going to do, and this is exactly what happened to Starlight one night. Is of all things, you know, when you get situated in your car, my situation is a lot different than other people, but you know, if you're already car camping right now, you might be in a situation like I am. Less is best in a vehicle because you got more space, but in my situation I have a lot of stuff in my vehicle, you know, so it takes a lot of space. And every night I have stuff in my back seat that I got to put in my front seat and on the floor. So, and then when I get all that stuff, you know, I'm really neat about my stuff in my back of my car. I just clean out my blankets and pillows and stuff like that today. But I always have my sleeping stuff, my blanket, it's already set. So then, you know, later on when I get in my car, I mean, like when I take everything out and put it in the front seat, I roll down the blanket, you know, which I can do a video on that just to kind of show you what I do. But you don't have to do what I do. I'm just saying this is what works for me, and this is how I am, and this is how I like to do things. As far as Starlight doesn't want crap all of her blankets, so that is my whole reason why I do things a certain way. But I mainly have my blankets nice and neatly on one half of the back of my car. So that, and then I have a space in the back where that's where I put my backpack, you know, my books, my yoga mat, and a folding chair. What else do I got back there? Sometimes I have odds and ends because I go to food pantries, and sometimes, I have a case of water, so I can pass that out to people in need, you know, water. And so when I get all my stuff from the back seat to the front driver's seat, I have I've moved the front driver's seat all the way up as far as I can, and I also move the latch so the seat goes like this as far as it can, so I have space in the back to move around. And right behind my driver's seat, which I'm not going to show you because I would have to do another video on that another time, but in my older videos I did show you different things like this. But right behind the driver's seat, because I'm a female, is guys, you guys got it easy. You know, normally when it comes to going to number one, that is, guys always have it easy, you know. You can just whip it out anywhere, you know, behind a tree or something. But with women, it's a totally different story. You know, if we decided to do something, our butt might be sticking out somewhere and somebody might call the cops. So we definitely got to be careful as far as female goes. And it's a lot different in a car. How do you pee in a car, Starlight? So that is what we're talking about today, is how do you do number 1 and 2 while car camping. And you really want to know your stuff before you get in this situation, because shit can happen. Life can happen, and it did. And that is why I've been thinking about this video for a while now. And I'm like, yeah, we need to make this. I want to help you guys and girls out. So behind my driver's seat on the floor, I even have I have the floor covering, you know, the plastic thing, the floor mat that's on my floor. And it's so important because accidents can happen, life happens, you know, shit can happen. But I have that floor mat on my carpet. Then I have one of those boxes that printing paper comes into that has the beautiful lid there, and they got handles on it, and they're awesome boxes. So those for women that are small like me can do this. You know, I'm 5'5", so that box is perfect because it goes flat right with my back seat in the car, so it's level. And so what I do is I have that lid on there, and I'm really always got to be careful. If you're going to do this, you always want to make sure you protect that lid. And after a time, that lid will get bad, you know, if you put weight on there, because I stick stuff in that box in the daytime. That way I can put the lid on top of it, and it's a cardboard lid. And then, you know, there's times I get food and Starlight's like, I'll just put it on that box. And as time goes by, it can really kind of make the box kind of, you know, droop like in a way. So after a while, then you need another box. So you can get those boxes sometimes at a staple place. You can go in there because they have those boxes. You can either buy them, or like when they are printing, you know, a printing company, ask them, hey, do you got an empty box? I just need this empty box with a lid. And if you're small like I am, you can get away with this. But if you're taller than I am, or you know, I'm like 120 that I weigh, so depending on your size, your body size, this is not meant for everyone. This is only meant for somebody my size. It works for me. So I have the box because, you know, protection of the floor. You don't want your car smelling like urine. It's a hard smell to get out of your carpet. It's your home and your wheels. So Starlight's really funky about this stuff. So there's been many times I've had accidents before the box. That's why the box came in. And I also put like a plastic cutting board in the bottom of the box. That way, whoops, accidents happen. You know, I'm in the middle of the night. You know, so anyway, accidents can happen and will happen, put it that way. So you want to make sure your car is protected so you don't have those kind of accidents happening. And so when I get that lid on there, this is after Starlight's already in her car. I already got my blankets already set out. I already opened them up. I got my pillows. Oh, you know, I have my pillows. My big body pillow is in a garbage bag to keep it safe and protected so it doesn't get dirty. I like a clean bed space. You know, Starlight does not like to sleep on a dirty bed. So, and then I put my blankets in, the blankets that I cover up, that's in a bag. But I have a sleeping bag that just got cleaned today, which I had to flip it around. So because it's too hot to really cover up with a sleeping bag at this time of year. So, so I have it so I have more space in the back, and I can use that box to actually stick my legs on there, which I put my body pillow on there when I get ready to go to bed, before I'm actually ready to lay down, and I can put my legs on there and rest. You know, I do want to make a video and show you what it looks like as far as Starlight being in there doing that, but that will be another video. I'll just, you know, make a fun video like that to just show you what I'm talking about without describing it like this. So, but when I need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, or even before I go to bed. I'm going to say before I go to bed because it's easier. This is before I put blankets on top of the box, because that's what I'm going to do. I make the blankets so then, you know, it covers the box, so that's part of my bed, so I can actually sleep slanted, you know, and I get a little bit more leg room. So with that being said, is the box, I'm already sitting in the back seat. My blankets are pushed on the side. I didn't lay down yet, so the lid, I take the lid off. My feet can go inside the box. And to go number 1 for females, guys, you got it easy. Take a bottle, you know. But you know, you got to know how much you're going to pee also. So whatever you're peeing into, you got to make sure you got a big enough container and enough space. Women are different than men. You know, men, I've known men, not that I've known to see a man do this, but I've witnessed this at Walmart parking lots where somebody filled up a whole soda bottle of urine, and just, you know, they were so great and they just left their nasty pee in the bottle and left it for the Walmart workers, you know, and they drove off somewhere, you know. In Walmart, sometimes Walmart, you can park in a Walmart parking lot at nighttime, but you gotta find out, or otherwise the, you know, security guys or police will come and tell you need to move. You don't want to start any problems with the officers, you know, when you're going through this stuff. So anyway, I have a container right here, and this is what Sterlite pees into. So this is the container. It's got a lid, and you definitely are going to want, ladies, you're going to want a lid, because I don't know how many times. There's times I go like 5 times, 6 times, I don't know how many times. Sometimes I swear every hour in the night that I got to get up and go pee. It's like a routine that I have all night long. And so you want a lid. So with women, you're going to climb in the box, you know, you're going to have your feet, and you're just going to squat in this baby and pee in it. And make sure you take your time doing this. You're not in a rush. That's why you want to make sure you get to that in that box ahead of time. You don't want to wait the last minute, because accidents can happen, shit can happen. We're not to the shit yet, because this is number 1, not number 2. So anyway, you know, and you got to have your toilet paper handy, ladies. And what I do also is I gather these little doggy bags. They come in handy because this is where I'm going to put my toilet paper in. So I don't want urine all in the back of my car. So when ladies, and you can have wipes. Like, it works out great in the back of my car because I have like a pocket thing in the back of my seat, so that way when if I make a mess, or, you know, I even have washcloths up in the front, you know, that I can use to clean up, you know, so I don't smell like urine in the middle of the night, because whoops, I peed on my hands. Shit can happen, piss can happen, life can happen. So, you know, you want to put the toilet paper in the bag, that way you're not being, you know, making a big mess and a big stink in there. So then you're going to want to pee in your container. It's hard to have a bigger one this in the box, because you know what, there's only so much space for your legs to get in there, ladies. And like men, I'm not sure, you have to be a small man to make this work. So and depending on your situation in your car, you're going to have to really think this stuff out, because this is going to happen. You know, are you going to get out of your car every time you got to go pee? And if you're in a private parking lot and there's other people parking, you know, because that happens a lot. Where I go, there's other people car camping, you know, there's RVs, there's cars, there's this, there's that. You're not going to be able to get out and pee every time, you know, because there's going to be people out there and you could get kicked out, and you don't want to get kicked out. That's why you got to make sure you're peeing and doing your thing inside the car. Now, if you don't have a lot of stuff in the front seat, then you could just get out of your car, you know, drive down the street and go find a bathroom somewhere. But really, are you going to really want to do that at 2 a.m. in the morning? You know, you're sleepy. You just want to get back to sleep, right? Well, now I took care of the bathroom part as far as number 1 goes. Now number 2, I had to learn this quick. I went to bed and I was laying down in my bed, and it was raining out. It was pouring out, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, uh-oh. You know that feeling when you're like, shit happens? Well, it was happening. It was pouring out. It was freaking pouring like elephants. Elephants were, that was the night of the elephants, you know? Elephants was just coming out of the sky. So, and I got all my stuff in the front seat. Sometimes I have extra stuff that's in the front seat. So, and I'm like, shit. My body's telling me that I can't believe it. It's at this time, you know, it was like, you know, maybe about 12 in the morning, you know, my body's saying, Sterling, yeah, you got to take it number 2. No, it's pouring out there. It's dark out, you know, I'm like, I am too, you know, like, what am I going to do? Quick thinking, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, and the other thing I want to tell you, ladies, and it's so important, is it's great to have like Clorox wipes if you have them. If not, you can use your toilet paper. But every time, I'm telling you, you're going to want to wipe this out. I even use the toilet paper that I wipe with, and then I clean my hands. I just, you know, wipe it out, because what happens if you don't wipe this out in the container, you want to leave it in a box the whole night and put the lid back on and then put the blankets on there, but it will tip over sometimes, and when it tips over, urine is gonna go in your box. So, and the other thing on your going pee, now these things are coming up, is every time you use the bathroom, when you go pee in this container, make sure you put the lid on, because that happens, you know, because you're tired, you just want to get back to bed. And there's many times Starlight didn't know, which it didn't tip over. I was grateful for that, it didn't tip over. But when I got up, you know, I'm thinking, you know, you got to be careful, and you're going to throw this out your window, but you don't want to. I used to do this wrong. I used to throw it out the window I was going to get out of, you know, I out of the door. You know, you don't want to throw your urine, you know, in the middle of the night, because this baby's going to get full depending on who you are, and you got to empty it. So you got to roll your windows down, but you want to throw the urine on the opposite side of the you know, where you're going to get out, you know, because I used to get out and step in my urine every morning until I realized, Starlight, why are you doing that? Yeah, I don't know, I like stepping in my own urine. Why not? Don't you like stepping in your own urine? No. So you don't want to do that. So these are all things that are coming to me as I'm making this video. So, and you want to be careful. There's no rushing. Make sure your window is. Now, this is many things that's happening, because shit happens and life happens when you're car camping. In the back window, you're going to want to make sure that baby is open as far as possible, because this container has got to get out the window. So you're not in a rush. You're going to have the lid off, you know, and your blankets are going to be near that end or wherever you're situated. So you're never in a rush. You always take your time, and you carefully, you make sure you got a grip on this container, and you stick your hand out. Make sure your wrist feels the outside, and then you can dump the urine out, and it will be on that side. It won't be on the side when you step out of your car in the morning. So, and you carefully bring that back in. You don't have to wipe it out at that moment, but only when you wake up and you're ready to get everything set up, you know, to get in the front seat of the car. Now, number 2 will be difficult depending on your situation. Now, I have the box, and that night when it was raining elephants, Starley already had lots of stuff in the front, you know, because even getting out, I mean, you know, all my stuff is going to get wet and all this. It's a big disaster. So I had to do what I had to do, and it worked. And I've done it like, I think I've done it like 3 times out of 3 years. So it's not something I make a habit, and that's why you always want to make sure before you go in the bed, before you park your car, do I got to go number 2? You know what? When in doubt, go to the bathroom and check it out. You know, do I got to go? I kind of feel like I need to go, because you really don't want to you don't want to guess this. You want to go there and sit there for a while and think about it, you know, like, yeah, I think I better do that now, because you know what, if you can get that done with before you get in your car, you're saving yourself a whole lot of headaches. So now number 2. Number 2. Now this is a clean one. This is not a dirty one. I brought a new, well, this one just recently got clean. So number 2 is like number 1 in a way, but like it will be different with all of you because depending on the space in your car. But this is something, AIM is everything, and you might want a bigger container than this, because this baby, you better know where the heck you're, you know, you better know, you know, this is nothing that you rush. You are patient. You just, I mean, it's horrible that I'm talking about this, but I want to help you out, because you're gonna, you could run into this. So with this, now if you don't have nothing in the front seat of your car, you're going to want to move that seat as far up as you can. And it would be great if you had a box, but if you don't have a box, that means you better make sure you have something on the bottom, so if shit happens, you know, you are not going to have shit in your car. So Starlight uses these little doggy bags. They're not just great for dogs, they're also great for these kind of things that go on in a car. So you're going to just stick one, and it fits perfectly, to stick one of these bags into that container, and you're going to want to make it look just like that. You're not going to want it look like that, okay? You're really going to want that bag nice and tight in there. So, you know, that's, and I'll tell you what, guys, you might need a bigger container. You know, guys, you might need a bigger container. So yeah, will it fit all in there? You know, you better know if it's going to fit in there. So if you're going to use a bigger container, that means, you know, you're going to, you know, make sure ahead of time, hey, does this bag fit in there? You make sure that whatever bag that you use doesn't have any holes in it. I don't care what bag, but you want to make sure you have a strong enough bag so it doesn't rip. There's no rips in this bag. You know, it's a bag that's going to be strong enough to hold your shit. But there you go. And make sure you have plenty of toilet paper with you. And that's, with the toilet paper, you're not going to want to stick it in here. Just have another one of these, and make sure you have it really open so you're not missing, you know, even if you got to have a bigger bag, you know, because shit can happen, you know, by trying to stick it in this bag. Now, I never had a problem with this. I was really good at sticking it in the bag, but you're waking up at who knows what time, and you gotta, you know, shit happens. So you really want to take your time with all this stuff. And then I end up, depending on the time of the night on this, and depending on where you are, I've done this somewhere, but I don't do this all the time. Now, if I just got in the car and I'm still wide awake, you know, sometimes you could, you know what, hurry up, put everything back and go to the gas station, you know. But if it's kind of late in the night, you know, and it's all depending on how you feel, what do you want to go through? Because now you're going to have this bag, just like the way the doggies look, you know, like, oh, what am I going to do with this now, you know? So depending on where you park, you know, if there's no gas station and you're somewhere, sometimes some of these places that you can go and sleep overnight, they have garbage cans nearby. So, but of course, Starlight's actually dropped hers right outside, you know, because nobody was going to be around. That was, you know, who's going to want to touch that? They'd be like, ooh, you know, they're not going to go near it. But that way it's not in the car, because, you know, you don't want to be smelling your own doo-doo in the car when you're trying to sleep in your, you know, you don't want to do that. So anyway, that is my video. And but with you guys that don't have a box, or you might be bigger size, is you might have to really just pack everything up and just go. You know, this is not meant for everyone. If you can make enough space in the back seat, but you really got to know, if you are a bigger sized person and you're not going to be able to squat like that, yeah, you might have to just get everything situated. But that night when I did this my first time, it was raining elephants, and it was in the middle, it was late in the night or early morning. So that will help you out. And like I said, you got to really think, could you really, aim, and I have, you just got to know your body and know where the hole is. Hey, do I have that there? And just go slow. Don't rush this stuff, you don't want to wait the last minute either, because I've had some horrible times, like really gotta go, and it's like it doesn't want to wait for you. So you don't want to wait the last minute. And so I really hope you get a lot of help from this shit happens video. So anyway, I hope this helps out. And so anyway, I do love you all, and I hope you're having a great 4th of July. Starlight really doesn't do anything on a 4th of July. And I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.